Hello YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and welcome back to the Outsiders channel. This week on the Outsiders channel we're going to be reviewing over 3 or 4 videos, so I'm devoting the entire week to it on my channel, a board game called Advanced Civilization. Well, actually, really, to be fair, it's an amalgamation of 2 games that came out by a company called Avalon Hill back in the 80s. This is a game that has always been a firm favourite of myself and many of my friends once they've played it. It's like one of those things, it has that unique quality that seems to always make everybody fairly happy. It's a game not without some weaknesses, definitely, like all games, but the strengths strip out and remove any issues anybody ever has about this game, and what you end up with is an amazing game. An amazing game. Now, if you've ever played any Civilization games on the computer, this is where they originated from, actually. So I'm just going to get out both versions. We've got the original Avalon Hill Civilization game, as you can see. It's fairly battered, my copy, unfortunately, but it's still serviceable. And I also have the Advanced Civilization, which is where I keep all the bits and pieces nowadays, which is came out slightly later, but it's the one we use. There's the book at the back. I'll put the book there. And I keep most of the components nowadays because it's in just about a serviceable condition. Most of my components come in this wallet. So inside the wallet, what I have is I've re-acetated the charts that you get. I've redid the book as well, so I made a better version. I've got all my components and counters in little bags, so everything's been as well as I can look after it after 30 years of playing it together. Now, it is beginning to show the signs of deterioration, there's no doubt about that, but there's still many games left in it. But fortunately, on the horizon is a new game that came out earlier this year called Mega Civilization. Now, the reason it's called Mega Civ, without going into too much detail, because that's not what this video is all about, is because the original Civilization game, really, you could play it for between about 5 and 8 players. My favourite number of players for Civilization is 6 to 7. Works the best for me, from my experience of trying it out with lower numbers and higher numbers, and we've done that many times. But Mega Civilization can play with 16 players. Now, I'm going to come to that in a future follow-up video in the future, because I will be getting Mega Civilization. It isn't cheap, but I'm going to get it because I am looking to get off the ground here in Daventry, a yearly event, an Advanced Civilization game. Now, I would like to make it at least a weekend event. It could be a one-day event, really, to be honest. You could play it in a day, and with players who've played before, even if somebody hasn't played it before, it can be done in about between 8 and 10 hours. That's a fair commitment of time, but the journey in the game makes it absolutely fantastic. Now, the reason I'm not really going to spend any time on this in this video, it's just a very short intro into this, really, is because I want to break the game down for you over a few videos. I want to look at it in depth. I want to look at what makes it a success. I want to look at the rules. I want to look at things that hopefully will make you think, yes, I am interested in this. Yes, I'd love to track down a copy of this. And yes, I'd like to run this game somewhere. Now, obviously, as you know, if you're UK or Europe based and you're interested in thinking, wow, you know what, this could be a great experience, this could be a brilliant game to get together, then you're more than welcome. I mean, there's enough accommodation near where we live to make this possible. I'm prepared to travel anywhere in the UK to make this happen. So I'm prepared to commit. I have contacts in the hotel business where I know I can get rooms for nothing. So I'm pretty convinced we can get a conference room. We can do whatever we need to do to make this a reality check. But ultimately, what I hope will happen is that you also think, what a game. And if you're a games designer, maybe this will influence you to take a closer look at this game, and maybe it'll inspire you to come up with something that you want to do with your next board game or next idea. So hopefully I've whet the appetite enough without giving anything really away. So when we come back, we'll be looking at the game in depth. I think what we'll do for this video series, is probably I will take it indoors and use my screen behind me to illustrate and show some of the components, some of the parts, much better than trying to show it on a board, and also how the game actually works. One thing I can say in this little video interlude, into piece before, if you will, of the main videos, is that the game has no luck elements in it. Now, that's going to sound really odd. How can a board game have no luck? Well, there's no dice, so there's no chance. It is all about you against those players, and it's not necessarily against, it's more a case of working with. And as you know, I'm a role player first, and everything else comes very second, very, very second. But this game has elements in it that we all loved as role players, because the trading phase, the way that you try to draw lines down literally in the sand, the negotiations that go on around the table, There's no fixed binding to them. It's whatever you can negotiate. If the other player buys it or goes with it, fine. It isn't really a war game as well. That's another thing about this game. It could be played aggressive, but I haven't seen it played aggressively successfully. And the final thing I want to add about this video, which is another part to it that is fascinating, is that this is a game that could be picked up and played by a beginner in literally 10 minutes, and yet there is a lifetime of mastery in this board game. So it can literally be picked up in 10 minutes and played, and there is a lifetime of mastery in this game, and it comes with some wonderful phases, one of them being trading. A lot of people say that the game is won or lost in the trading, which I don't disagree with, but I do believe the role-playing elements, the elements of the discussion, of negotiation, everything else, are equally as important. And I mustn't miss out, one of the more important elements that you'll see is you're playing not just the players around the table, the board game is actually playing you as well. How unique is that when you think about a board game from 30 years ago? The actual mechanics are designed to mess you about, which I think is absolutely ingenious, and that's why I'm going to put it into my channel. So I hope you'll indulge me. I hope you'll enjoy watching these videos. Anyway, I've been Sean Connors. This has been the Outsiders channel, talking all about advanced civilization in general, the Avalon Hill game. I look forward and hope that you will give me some comments on the next few videos. I really look forward to your input, and all that leaves me to say is happy gaming and see you soon. Bye bye.